It is a tremendous honor for the American Legislative Exchange Council to welcome Dr. Milton Friedman here today. We feel very, very privileged to have him with us here this afternoon because without his pioneering work, the world would not be as bright in the 21st century. And we feel especially privileged that after his remarks, Dr. Friedman will be taking questions from the audience. As we celebrate ALEC's 33rd year, we remember the mission that has founded this great organization so many years ago. Individual liberty, free enterprise, limited government. Whether you are a state legislator, a policymaker, a scholar, or a member of the private sector, every debate, every decision you have made on one of these issues has been influenced by Dr. Friedman's work, whether at that very moment you were realizing it or not. As I considered the great honor of introducing Dr. Friedman, I thought about how the world would be different. The world is different because of Dr. Friedman's work. Would ALEC be here? Would the legislators in this room have ever been elected? Would we be conservatives as we are today? Would the conservative movement be as strong as it is today? I'm not sure. And maybe not. As I gave this some thought and really contemplated it, even this morning, I realized that my entire career has been shaped by Dr. Friedman's work. Whether teaching business and economics at a college, creating an education and reform school choice organization, becoming the first director of school choice at the Department of Education, every single thing I can trace back to Dr. Friedman's work. And I considered it a great privilege that I got to chat with him about this before we came up here today. We all know that ALEC has been shaped by his work, and we are very, very grateful for it. So before I formally introduce Dr. Friedman, and we honor him for how he has changed the world, I would just like to take a moment to thank you personally, Dr. Friedman, for how you've changed my life. Because spending my life on this cause is a privilege every single day when I wake up. Dr. Friedman's work is as rich in history as it is in its significance. In 1955, he wrote an article entitled "The Role of Government in Education," and in these past 51 years, he has been lauded and recognized as the father of the modern school reform movement. Throughout these past 5 decades, he and Mrs. Friedman have dedicated a large part of their lives to educational freedom, not only through their own work, but also through the establishment of the Milton and Rose Friedman Foundation. And this foundation has been a great friend to ALEC in advancing education reform throughout school by utilizing school choice in America. Dr. Friedman's list of accomplishments are long and impressive, and we could not possibly do them justice here today. He's received the Nobel Memorial Prize for Economic Science in 1976, and the National Medal of Science and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1988. He served as an unofficial advisor to presidential candidate Barry Goldwater and Presidents Nixon and Reagan, and he is currently a senior research fellow at the Hoover Institution at Stanford University and a professor emeritus of economics at the University of Chicago, where he taught from 1946 to 1976. He and Mrs. Friedman's memoirs, Two Lucky People, were published by the University of Chicago Press in 1998. Dr. Friedman, I consider it one of the greatest pleasures I have ever had to thank you on behalf of the American Legislative Exchange Council for changing our world. Our children and the generations after them owe you a debt of gratitude that we can only possibly repay by working every day to defend and promote liberty. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my greatest honor to introduce you to Dr. Milton Friedman.
Thank you very much. I hope you'll pardon me if I speak sitting down. My weakest problem are my legs. I can't stand for very long. Thank you very much for that introduction. Laurie, I tell you, You got to be responsible for your own life. I won't be.